Hello everyone, this is a new tree to me at any rate. I'm going to try and bonsai. Pots full of weeds. I did show this back, I bought this back in January with the intention of doing something with it earlier in the year, but you know, time and tide wait for no man, as they say. It's quite nice, I've actually seen it flowering, so lots of pollen everywhere, but I think it's time I tried to get it into this pot which I purchased. I didn't purchase it actually, no, this was one of the Christmas pots I believe. Anyway, I have prepared said pot and yeah, I'm going to try and get this out of its pot, clear out some of these weeds and see what I can find under the surface of the soil. Okay, so tree's out of its pot. Try and strip away some of these weeds and things. It's quite a deep pot, so I may be pushing it to get it into this shallow bonsai pot straight away, but I think I might get away with it. We will see. It's a very claggy soil that this is in. A lot of moss, a big root left there, more grass growing in here than I've got in my lawn. This stuff, I think it's called liverwort. There's a definite sign that the soil is too wet. It only grows in very wet areas, boggy areas, so it will do this tree good to get out of this soil anyway. Work my way around, move the label, what was it again? Mops, Mugo Mops. It's like feeling a deja vu for a moment then, but no, I realised there were two labels. So I was experiencing something I'd already experienced before. Okay, so I'm not getting down too far before I'm actually starting to find some surface roots, which is encouraging, though it may not be helpful in the goal of getting this tree into a shallower pot. A lot of moss around the trunk, but that's coming off quite easily, so that's a good thing. Okay, so trusty root hook. Start to remove some of this soil. Do have some of this mycelium going through it, which is a good sign. Some of the roots are wrapping around the root ball, are quite long. I don't know that this tree might not have been in this pot very long before it was sold. Oh, it's not a tree that's been hanging around at the garden centre filling its pot with roots for a couple of years, that's for sure. Okay, so still quite heavy. I like to do things into this tray because it just holds everything together, so it's making too much of a mess. I don't want to bare root this tree entirely. They say you should never bare root a pine entirely, but this soil, you know, I can pick that up, I can squeeze it, and there was water running out, so it's definitely not good for the long-term health of this tree to stay in this soil. So I'm going to remove a lot of it. That's for sure. Okay, well this is going to get quite boring for you, so I'm going to turn the camera off, continue to work on this, and then come back in a minute and show you the result. Okay, so cleaned a lot of the soil off. It seems that maybe this tree might have been in this pot for much longer than I thought, judging by the length of the roots. I think I am definitely going to struggle to get this tree into the shallow pot. All the roots seem to emanate, or most of the roots seem to emanate from the bottom here. Let's remove a bit more soil. I mean, there are some roots higher here, which could possibly be used to create an nebari. But most of the roots are from the base. I'm thinking I may end up cutting this tree back, or the roots back significantly, and then it's going to have to go into a deeper pot to recover. There is no way I'm going to be able to get that into that and leave enough roots for the tree to survive on. I don't think. I would need to remove, yeah, pretty much all of that. I'm going to give it a go of removing some significant portion of this. I don't think I'm going to get it into that shallow pot. However, hopefully by removing a considerable amount of these roots, it will force the tree to I'm seriously thinking do or die here. So see how much of this large lump I can nibble away. Obviously this tree is a very healthy tree. You wouldn't do this with a sickly tree. Okay, so still going to have to trim these roots a little. That one can come off entirely. Okay, so it doesn't leave a huge amount of root. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to remove quite a bit of top growth. Now, even now I don't think I can get away with this pot unless I take off a little more. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Do or die, as they say. Okay, so it's just... Okay, so if you've been around my channel for any length of time, you'll know I often don't bother wiring a tree in, but I am going to make an exception in this case, simply because I have such a little amount of root left to play with. And so if I can eliminate any kind of wind rock, so much the better. I'm not being too fussy about placement either, because I've done this wrong. Talking and working and thinking. So we'll undo that. I want this way, I have to come to here. There isn't an awful lot for the tree to hold on to, but the roots are about as spread as they're going to be. And this will just stop the tree rocking too much in the wind, etc. And hopefully keep it in one place. Okay, so once I've got the rest of the soil in, I think that'll hold that quite firmly. Ta-da! Well, it's quite a vicious repot, really. So, I could have maybe shortened the roots by half, put it back in its original pot. I was maybe a little bit impatient, but I give this tree lots of protection. Keep it out of the direct sunlight. Once I've cut it back a little bit to prevent too much transpiration, I'm hopeful that it will make a recovery. If not, I guess the next time you see this tree, it'll be dead, and those of you that want to can say, I told you so. I told you so. And sometimes you have to take a bit of a chance. This tree is not as central as I would have liked in the pot, and do a very good job of that, but you know, at this stage it's more about survival than aesthetics. Okay, so gonna go and give that a good drink, and then we'll come back and work on the top. Okay, so this is my preferred front at the moment. So what I'm going to try and do is I need to remove a considerable amount of the foliage to make up for the fact that I've removed a considerable amount of root. I'm going to go straight in and take off a couple of these pieces that are facing the front. So that's revealing the trunk line reasonably well. No, I'm going to lose that one. Trim that up a little more. And I'm going to take that off there. Tricky when the sun's at this angle to see exactly what you can see on the screen, but I'm going to be ruthless and take that piece off, leaving this smaller piece. Okay, similarly take off this long shoot and these flowers. I'm considering using this shoot as my apex and removing this entire section. I have lost an awful lot of root, so I think the tree could bear losing that. And we have got an awful lot of shoots all in the one place. I'm going to lose that one. And that one. Let's open that. And so yeah, denuding the tree quite significantly from the front here. And I'm going to shorten a couple of these back shoots. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna pinch out these candles now. Okay, so that's removed quite a lot from this tree. I'm gonna remove the flowers. So I don't really want the tree to produce cones this year. And it's just going to be a waste of its energy. I want it to grow some roots. That's what we really want it to do. So we've got a lot of branches emanating from one spot just here. I'm going to lose this one in the center. It's always difficult. You don't want T-branches if you can help it, but sometimes that's all the tree offers you. I'm going to take that one off in favour of the one that's slightly lower below it. I'm going to shorten this. And that's realistically, I think, all I can get away with this tree. It's got a lot of faults. Branch placements in the wrong place. Straight portion here. Yeah, I'll shorten that back branch. I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to try and keep this tree alive, and I'm going to put it in the shade house and keep it out of the direct sunlight, out of any wind, and hopefully it'll begin to throw out some new roots over the next couple of weeks and stabilise itself. So thank you all for watching, and take care of yourselves.